Karina, I'm from Singapore.
John Blair, and I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Russell Clark, Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
I'm Valentina, and I'm from Italy.
I'm Morgan from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mike Joyce, I'm from Guilford, Connecticut.
I'm Rihanna, or Hermione. I live in Texas.
Amber Horton. I'm from Arkansas.
Austin, and I'm from South Africa.
Jenna, I'm originally from New Jersey and now live in Los Angeles.
Allison Smith in Charlotte, North Carolina.
So I'm Vinciane, and I'm from France.
I'm Jenny from St. Louis.
Texas Art from Texas.
My name is Jen. I'm from Wisconsin.
I am Candace, and I'm from Dallas, Texas.
I'm Chastity. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Cassidy Quinlan. I'm from Montreal, Canada.
I'm Mindel. I'm from Virginia.
My name is Molly Fine. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
I'm Courtney May, and I live in Woodstock, Georgia.
Danny, I'm in Atlanta.
Iman Lakhani, I'm from St. Pete Beach, Florida.
I am Jennifer Flagg. I'm in Peoria, Illinois.
Well, my name is Mo, and I'm from the U.S.
I'm Rachel Amber Bloom, and I'm from Austin, Texas.
I'm Lana, and I'm from New Jersey.
Caroline, I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina.
I'm Lauren Withrow Edgar. I am currently living in Garland, Texas.
My name's Sally, and I live in Scotland.
$100 clues, no question asked.
Every time that doorbell was ringing and it's that one was, oh my gosh, I was literally on the floor rolling.
My favorite episode to show people who have not seen Psych before is American Duos.
American Duos.
Oh, undoubtedly, hands down, the Rusty Dagger episode.
9 Lives. Little boy cat. I don't know what that is. There's something about that episode that I really, really love.
Today I'm going to say Cirque du Soleil because I think that's a good episode. I like that whole season.
0 to Murder in 60 Seconds, by far one of my favorite episodes. I feel that episode is so underrated.
I love the Office Space. There's just it's Office Space. If you ever hear that type of tapping on the door, you know that, oh yes, okay, there's Gus outside.
Yeah, so it was like in the first 5 minutes, and everything is just an entire mess of the crime scene, and the way how there's so much physical comedy, but also situational comedy, and I was like literally doubled over, just like I can't breathe because I was laughing so hard.
I do have a definitive answer, which is Last Night Gus.
I think I'd have to say Last Night Gus. I think that is just every time I watch it all the way through, it's just nothing but laughing.
So I would say my all-time favorite is Last Night Gus, because it's just so funny, and it can get absurd at times.
And the first episode I ever saw was Gus's dad may have killed an old guy, which is still, I think, probably my favorite episode.
I also like Daredevil. I think because of the twist of not really usual, like there's a bad guy.
I love Sean Takes a Shot in the Dark because it's brilliant.
Oh yes, hands down, Sean Takes a Shot in the Dark. That's my favorite episode.
Honestly, I love the show altogether, and I love all the stuff, but when they go off and do something different, I really like it. And so Sean Takes a Shot in the Dark, he's in danger, and now you got Henry and Lassiter together, and you have Juliet and Gus together, and that doesn't happen super often, so you get the different dynamics and stuff.
Also roller derby for me because it's just Jules that can do anything.
My favorite episode would have to be An Evening with Mr. Yang. And it was so cool because you felt like it was James's mind, it was Steve Franks' mind. It was this really cool way of taking what the show was, a murder mystery, and making it serious for a second. But in a really funny way.
The moment when he's there in the car and he sees that his mother is tied to a bomb and he tells her, like, it is just all, and then sees Ali Sheedy's face, like all of that. I think that episode is completely huge.
Mr. Yin Presents. Clock Tower at the end. It doesn't get any better than that.
Right Turn and Left 4 Dead. It's like a journey, and you're going through it with Sean, and at the end, he's just like, if only I hadn't given you my jacket. And you're just screaming at the screen.
I'm gonna say like Breakup or Odyssey or that last Yin Yang one last night. Like I can list like a top tier. I don't know if I can list a top one.
So my favorite character is Sean.
It's just Sean. I love him. He's hilarious.
Sean is my favorite.
Sean, because I think it's the first TV character I ever loved. So for that, he gets extra points.
Sean is my favorite, definitely.
But like between Sean and Gus, like locked in a room, I'm like, I don't know. I love both of them.
You know, Sean is my boy, obviously, but I love watching Dulé bring Gus to life.
But as far as like the MVP, that goes to Dulé, that goes to Gus, because he never ever fails to make me laugh hysterically.
Gus. Okay, next.
I love Nerdy, and it's just like, and even like specifically the Harry Potter episode where it's like, I'm gone pottering, and then
He shows a higher level of vulnerability and being sort of in the weaker position. Someone who's always getting sick or can't handle this or doesn't do that, and he's also at times the most heroic at the same time.
I think overall my favorite character is probably Gus.
I like Gus because I'm kind of like Gus, and I like Juliet because I wish I was like Juliet.
I'm a big fan of Jules.
I want to say Juliet also because she's the heart of the show.
I also love Jules because she's like a badass woman, and for me it's a great example of what women can do.
Karen Vick is my idol. But I love one of the things I really like about her character is they never made a big deal about like, oh my God, the chief of police is a woman. And she didn't either. It was just like everybody does their job and everybody gets their jobs done.
Chief Vic, she crushes it every second that she's on screen.
I think every empowered woman wishes they could rock a pantsuit like Juliet and Chief Vic do.
My favorite character is Lassiter. I've always found him like the funniest.
Lassiter. End of story.
Probably my favorite is Henry.
I mean, he just comes in. He's funny. He's crotchety, but he says his lines. He's hilarious, and then he disappears until it's time for him to come back and annoy Sean again.
I'm gonna have to go with Woody. I can't think of one scene with Goodfellow where the show was not funny.
I think I'd have to go with Woody. You just never know what's going to come out of his mouth, and he's just good for entertainment.
Mary Lightly is delightful. I can't get enough of how weird he is.
Oh no, I kind of have a favorite character. I love them all.
Says, you put some sunglasses on.
Let's just say, you put some sunglasses on.
That's the quote I was actually thinking of, is you put some sunglasses on.
Boom, 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 muffins.
Suck it. No, you suck it. Suck it.
High top, fade out. If Jesus was our manager.
If Jesus was our manager.
Jesus was our manager.
He would bring us back together.
He would bring us all together.
Yeah. It's an interesting blend, isn't it? I find it an interesting blend of realism, but in such a funny way.
I think the show just got better and better.
I just got, it's my happy place at this point, and I just never get tired of watching it.
And just it's like my comfort TV show. So when I don't feel good or when I want to laugh, I just watch Psych because I know it will be amazing.
I guess it's just a really happy show. Like I can watch it all the time. So if I have a bad day or if anything bad happens, like I want to watch Psych. It's my one show that I can put on and I feel like I'm just with friends.
At first, Psych was just a show that I would watch on the regular. And at the time, it didn't occur to me that, hey, this is a comfort show for me, you know?
I've dealt with major depression and anxiety, and that really started to come on around 9th grade. Psych was one of the things where when I didn't want to be here anymore, I could put that on and I could be with my friends and they would make me laugh and I would feel like I was in on the joke. And it just, it could make me laugh when I really, really was in some of the worst pains of my life.
I overanalyze everything and I get very high anxiety, and Psych is a show that I will put on to take me out of that situation.
My profession is very high stress, so I'd come home from work no matter how bad my day was, and I'd turn on some Psych, and for an hour I'd forget. That's what it means to me.
So I got accepted into a university, not in my hometown, in a different part of South Africa. And I was there for 2 years in that uni, and I was failing miserably, like absolutely bad. And I really, really, really missed home.
I was in a bad marriage. And it actually took me years to realize that why Psych meant so much to me. Like years past the bad marriage and past all the trauma and everything. It finally was like a lightning bolt. I realized, that's why Psych, it was a lifesaver to me.
I had fallen into numbness of depression and stuff, and like very bad, it was the darkest time in my life, basically. Finding something that I would laugh at was very important, even though I didn't even fully understand it at the time.
So Psych has really been with me in every stage of my life, but it's also been with me in the toughest times of my life. My mom passed away in 2009, and then 6 months later I lost an uncle, and then in 2012 and 2013 my remaining grandparents died.
It was what I consider in the darkest part of my life. Everything was just going wrong. I was about to lose my girlfriend, who I'm still with today, that I love very much. I was making bad choices, and literally one day I woke up and just started scrolling through the TV channels, and I came across a show called Psych. I can honestly say, before Psych, I consider myself a strong person, but at that time I felt like ending my life. I really did.
I am a Marine Corps veteran with post-traumatic stress disorder. I didn't get the treatment that I needed or the help I needed through various attempts through the VA over, a decade. And so almost 3 years ago, I attempted to take my own life. Through medical intervention, that was unsuccessful, but I definitely didn't see any hope. It was at that point when I just started turning to Psych.
When I was in the depression, I hadn't realized it until later, but the shell of me was like breaking, but it was like something was coming back when I found Psych. So, yeah.
And it sounds odd maybe to say that a show could have that much effect on someone, but I've seen it through all of the other psychos.
I was able to mentally escape. I was able to lock myself in a room and just watch episodes of Psych for hours because I could not deal with what was happening in my real life. They were the reason I was able to get through these hardest times of my life.
In the later seasons, as the show was ending and as you start seeing more and more development to the Gus and Sean relationship, like at the time I wasn't working, and again, friendships were ending and changing, and it meant a lot to me to have, to follow along in this relationship and be reminded that sometimes friendships do change, but sometimes if you go back to the people that have been there for you time and time again throughout the years, that's what's really important.
I grew up in a place where it's all about gangs and violence and drugs and everything, and I wasn't the best person in the world. All of a sudden, I viewed Psych, and it introduced me to a world that I didn't know even existed.
And it brought me out of my depression. I did attempt suicide after my 2 years in my first uni, and I had never even contemplated it afterwards. After watching Psych, it just brought me, I can't explain the feeling it brought me. It just made me feel so whole. It made me feel so happy. Psych is home. Psych is home.
At the beginning, when I was first getting into it, before I'd even seen the musical, I got the soundtrack for the musical on Spotify, and I loved the first song so much. And whenever I was feeling really low at the beginning of the lockdown and everything, I'd lie in bed and listen to the music, and it made me feel so much happier. And then later on, like if I was quite low in the night, I'd stick on like Last Night Gus or Office Space or something, and you can guarantee if you're feeling low 5 minutes into an episode, you're happy again and you're smiling, and it doesn't matter anymore, the thing that was making you feel low.
I find it remarkable that this basic cable TV show has been so impactful in our lives, and it's found us in that moment we needed it the most.
That universe is so positive and uplifting, and I think that's why it's inspired so much devotion to the show, and why so many fans have become friends in real life through the show.
They're just the perfect show for any time in your life. I mean, it sounds like a commercial, but it's true.
And it's comforting, like in a weird way. It's like that bowl of tomato soup that you get when you're sick, or the chicken noodle soup, right?
It doesn't remind us of that bad time that it saved us from, but rather it's just this bright, joyful light that shined when reality was just a little too dark.
If you ask me, what does Psych mean to me? To me, it's a godsend and a lifesaver for me.
I want to let people know that this show has brought me so much joy, and has really gotten through the PTSD when there's hardly anything that will do that right now.
I just thought it was a funny show. I didn't realize it was like this weird therapeutic moment. I didn't realize that it was just like, dang, it's got a way deeper meaning to me than I ever saw, until I opened that up.
I am so happy to be part of the Psych family, and I just want to congratulate you on the 15-year anniversary of Psych.
It's been 15 years, and it needs to be 15 more.
It's just there's something about it that just, I think, even 5 years from now, we're still going to be talking about Psych.
It's nice to have the show where the cast loves the show and what they do as much as the fans do. So,
besides thanking personally all of the psychos possible to what they've brought into my life, there's not much more. It's just been a lot of joy.
Because they've made what could have been a horrible year actually a whole lot better.
I just want to say thank you guys for doing all that you have to make people laugh every day for the last 15 years and hopefully for 15 more.
You can't help but be affected in some way positively from the show.
The show will live on forever.
Psych, I love you. I love you so much.
I just wanted to thank all of the cast and crew for making a show that has been there for me when I just needed something silly and fun.
I'm one of the many people who's eternally grateful that they always want to come back and do more for us.
Thank you for making 8 seasons, and thank you for making another movie.
So I am just appreciative for all of the effort that Steve Franks went into in creating it and seeing it all the way through, and just the fun that everybody has had. We could definitely see it.
I love the show. The show saved my life. These people saved my life. They are good people. They do amazing things, and the psycho community is one that is unrivaled.
Thank you so much for bringing wonderful light to the world for 15 years. We love you so much. Your psychos love you. Thank you, and keep on going. How about another 10 movies?
anniversary, Psych! What?
Happy anniversary, Psych.
Happy anniversary, Psych.
Joyeux anniversaire, Psych. Et merci beaucoup.
Happy anniversary, Psych.
Happy anniversary, Psych.
Happy anniversary, Psych.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, Psych.
Happy anniversary, Psych.
Happy anniversary, Psych.
Happy anniversary, Psych.
Thank all of you and happy Psych anniversary.